Hello my dears and lovelies, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my freshly unpacked bookshelves and we're going to do a bookshelf tour. So I'm going to go with each shelf and I'm going to show you all of the books that I own. So come along. So this is my first shelf. This is part of my YA collection. So this is going to be the Selection series, which got very high school drama-y for me, so I have not actually finished it yet, but we'll finish it eventually probably. Then next we have all of my Disney Twisted Tales. As you can see, I love Disney. My personal favorites out of this collection are going to be Part of Your World and As Old as Time, and Once Upon a Dream was really cool as well. Then I have a couple of historical fiction, Romanoff and Fauquez. And then I have Hotel Magnifique, which was really pretty and fun to read. It was like a magical hotel, as you can probably tell from the name, but it was really fun to read. Going down to the next shelf, we have more YA. We have, first we have the Divergent and the Hunger Games, which I am just now noticing I have all hardbacks and special editions except for the first one in both, which I think is really funny. But that's those icons, classics as always. Cursed, which is the book that the Netflix series was based off of. Sorcery of Thorns is really pretty, so I'm going to show it to you. Like, isn't that cover just stunning? I love it. Even though it's the dust jacket, I love it. One of my favorite YA books. We Have the Flame. I really enjoyed. The Enemies to Lovers was perfection. I just have not bought the second one to read it yet. Catwoman, Soul Stealer was okay. It was my first, book, superhero novel that I've read, which I didn't know was a thing, but it was interesting. These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends is like a Romeo and Juliet with gangs, and it was so good, guys, so good. If you need a Romeo and Juliet retelling, these are your books. The Icon, The Queen, Stephanie Garber, Once Upon a Broken Heart, love these books, will forever love these books. Read Midnight, never would, because Stephanie Garber wrote a review on it and said it was really good. It's a Nutcracker retelling, really enjoyed it. Got a couple of V.E. Schwab books, would like to get more. Only a Monster was pretty good. Need to get the sequel for that one as well. Going down again, we have even more. You guessed it, YA. We have the Fable series, which is really fun. A very piratey book series, which I always love a good pirate series, guys. Then we have the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is like a Victorian era murder mystery. And guys, murder mysteries in Victorian era times, oh my god, the best. Red Queen, I didn't enjoy at all, really, but I bought all 4 of them, so I haven't bought myself to get rid of all 4 of them because of how much money I spent on them. The Grimrose Girls, again, it was okay. I didn't really care for it, but it's there because I paid money for it and I haven't brought myself to get rid of it yet. Legend, the Marie Lu series, again, absolutely adore these books. They're some of my favorite dystopian novels of all time. Shadow and Bone, enjoyed the TV series more than I did the books, honestly. But Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, nothing tops these. These are some of the best YA fantasy I've ever read in my life. Going down, ow. Excuse me while I hit my knee on my shelf. One more YA shelf. The Princess Will Save You. This one was one of the first fantasy series I bought after moving out of my parents' house. So it holds a very special place in my heart, even if I've read better things since then. Next we have the Icon itself, the Cruel Prince series. Everybody knows and love these. You know and love these. I don't need to explain why these are amazing. Heartless by Marissa Meyer is an Alice in Wonderland prequel. It's a Red Queen origin story. Very good. Ripped my heart out. No play intended. These are a few books I read for my young adult fiction class. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, The House on Mango Street, and The Poet X. All very good. Not typically my cup of tea, but I enjoyed them for what they were. Again, Stephanie Garber, My Queen, the Caraval series. I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Personally, I know I'm in the minority there, but I love these books. Daughter of the Pirate King. Again, you cannot go wrong with a good pirate story. I will never tire of pirate stories. We'll reread these over and over again. I love these. These are less YA and more of my murder mystery and thriller horror section. I don't have very many, as you can see, which is why they're mixed in with the YA stuff. but Dark and Shallow Lies and the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle are more murder mystery. Queen Victoria, Demon Hunter, Carrie, Year of the Witching, and Theme Music are all my horror books. Down one more shelf, we have my romance, Lovely War, which I know has been like talked about a ton on YouTube or BookTube recently, so I know you've probably heard way too much about it at this point, but if you have not read it, read this book. It's historical romance mixed with Greek mythology, and it is one of the best books I've read this year. So this is Christmas is Cute. Tell Me 3 Things. Honestly, I couldn't tell you much about it. I read it once and it was very meh. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I enjoyed the series more than I enjoyed the actual books themselves. Ali Hazelwood, icon. She got me into romance. I love her. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. I watched the show, loved it, so read the book and loved it. Donut Child, Go Hex Yourself. Love in the Time of Serial Killers and Payback's a Witch are all very cute ones. These 3 are really good, like spooky-ish romance if you need a good thing to read in October. Daisy Jones and the Six is not romance, it's more literary fiction, but I loved it and I have nowhere else to put it because I don't own enough literary fiction for it to have its own shelf. The Notebook, The Guernsey Litter, and Potato Peel Pie Society. I watched the movies and enjoyed them, so I read the books. Again, enjoyed the movies more than I did the books. I'm starting to see a trend here. One Dark Window and Two Treasure Crowns, one of the best romance fantasy series I have ever read. Absolutely adore these. Will reread them many, many times over. If you have not read these, read them now. Up next, this is my TBR shelf. So these are books I have not read yet, obviously. So I can't tell you much about them because I haven't even read them yet. But you can kind of go through, see I got some classics mixed in here, some romance, some fantasy, just a little bit of everything that I want to read. I like to keep my reading diverse, so we have a lot of different ones. You can go down this shelf too. There's a few more of my, I even got some graphic novels here, which I'm trying to get into some of the webtoon stuff. But yeah, that is my TBR shelf. If you see any that you would like to recommend, please do, and let me know which ones I should prioritize, because I need help deciding what to read first. And then going down one more shelf, we have my my classic section. They're books that I consider to be close enough to be classics. We have my gorgeous edition of the Jane Austen books. Let's see if I can show you. It's like just stunning. It's all 7 of Jane Austen's novels in one, and it's so pretty. Very heavy to read though, very heavy. Chronicles of Narnia, icon, love it. I've loved it since I was a child. Wicked, Alice in Wonderland, The Three Musketeers. Wuthering Heights was really, really good. Very gothic, very spooky. Paradise, Black Girl Lost, Jane Eyre, one of my top classic novels. I absolutely loved it. Same with The Book Thief. Very, very well done book. Scarlet Letter, the one solitary Nancy Drew book I've gotten here, The Great Gatsby. Rebecca is stunning. I absolutely love Rebecca. The Haunting of Hill House, watched the show, loved it, read the book, loved it. Picture of Dorian Gray, To Kill a Mockingbird, my whole Lord of the Rings, and every Sherlock Holmes mystery ever. Alrighty, and finally this is my last shelf that is also not fully filled, but we're gonna go through it. These are all of my Christian fiction books, which, as you might remember from my first video, I was only allowed to read Christian fiction growing up. So these are all the authors I have found and loved during that period of my life. I won't necessarily read them now, but they hold a special place in my heart, so I will continue to keep them. This is the Dragons in Our Midst series. 4 separate series, technically, all cohesively in one 12-book series. Yes, 12-book series. Huge. But took me a while to get through, but absolutely loved them. More by Brian Davis over here. This is a dystopian series called Precisely, terminated by his daughter Amanda Davis. Storm Siren and Toward a Secret Sky. Read these once, they were okay, couldn't tell you much about them. Down here, excuse me, sorry guys, my throat is dying today, so you have to excuse the voice, but this is Wayne Thomas Batson, all of these up to here. Wayne Thomas Batson was my absolute favorite novelist in high school. I absolutely loved his works. The Isle of Swords and the Isle of Fire series, which I'm just now realizing those are out of order, so we are switching those, guys, don't mind me. Pirate series, again, who doesn't love a good pirate series? I love these books. The Curse of the Spider Queen was my other favorite by him. I read this series probably a good 3 times in high school. These were my favorites. I have some Donita K. Paul books. She wrote a lot of dragon fantasy stuff. Not my favorite, but still enjoyed her. Now, these books, the Dune books, you guys, I don't know what magic they put in these books, but I absolutely devoured and loved them. It's like Narnia in Scotland. And I kid you not, I adore these books. I don't care if it's cheesy, I don't care if it's Christian, I will reread these over and over and over again because they're pure magic in a book series. It's got 2 separate love stories, all of the magic and fantasy and evil witch, everything you want in a book, it's in there. Love it. These 2 just wouldn't fit on the shelf, so they're laying on top. Curio is Donita K. Paul's daughter wrote that book. And then Priceless, because if you don't know, I was obsessed with the band for King and Country in high school. Obsessed is a mild way to put it. So I bought the book for the movie they made. So that's there. And then we have my Ted Dekker shelf, which Ted Dekker I still thoroughly enjoy. I will still go back and read some of his books. The Circle series and the 49th Mystic are all in one series. Basically, the main character falls asleep in this world and wakes up in another, and vice versa. And he's just trying to figure out what the F is going on. These are some of his thrillers, which are really good. This is a thriller he co-wrote with his daughter Rachel Dekker, which was really, really good. More fantasy. These are thrillers. This is his one, as far as I know, his one horror novel that he co-wrote with Frank Peretti, which was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. It scared me out of my wits when I read it for the first time. And because I enjoyed this so much, I bought a couple of Frank Peretti books because I thought I would also enjoy them. They're very okay, hence why I only have 2, and I have all of these Ted Dekkers. So Ted Dekker is the favorite. But yeah, that's this shelf. And that was my bookshelf tour. Thank you so much for joining me. If you saw any books that you read and enjoyed, please let me know. We can geek out a little bit. If you saw any books on my TBR shelf that you know are good, please let a girl know because I have so many. It's hard to prioritize what to read first. I get very overwhelmed. So please let me know if you have any recommendations or any I should add to this because as we all know, I'm constantly adding to my TBR shelf. So that was that. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.